am back. Road Transfer, Black and White Network. Well, guys, we're not going to be joking around too much in this video. The 911 audio has emerged involving YouTuber Ruby Frank, former YouTuber, had the channel 8 Passengers. It was one of these family blogging channels. I've done a couple of videos on this. She has been charged with several different charges. They found a child, a 12-year-old boy, who escaped from, it looks like, having been detained. Well, that 911 audio has emerged. And I've listened to about a few minutes of it. We're going to listen to a little bit of this. There's about 3 or 4 minutes here. And there's one point where the guy that the boy escaped, went a little less than a block, couple of houses down, said, call the police. And there's a point in which there's a man making a call to the 911 operator where he breaks down because he can tell this young boy has been abused, and it's pretty jarring. So let's get to this. This is Fox News. We're not going to listen to all of it. I don't even know how much YouTube's going to let me play of it, really and truly, but you guys know kind of what's going on. Just to give you a little brief synopsis in case it's the first time you've heard about this. Utah mommy blogger Ruby Frank and business partner Jody Hildebrandt, and that person sounds, oh man, who made a living creating lifestyle and parenting videos on YouTube, on a YouTube channel called Connections Classroom, has been charged with 6 counts of child abuse and an alleged abuse of 2 children. The women were arrested after a Santa Clara police dispatch received a dispatch around 10:50 p.m. about a juvenile asking for help, police said in a press release. He just said, I had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. He said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. So let's listen to this right here.
Exactly what's happened.
I just had a 12-year-old boy show up here at my front door asking for help. And he's said he just came from a neighbor's house, and we know there's been problems at this neighbor's house. He's emaciated. He's got tape around his legs. He's hungry, and he's thirsty.
Okay. Is your door locked?
No, I'm sitting outside with him on the front patio.
Okay, cool.
And he asked us to call the police.
What's
so he's
your name?
very afraid. What's your last name? He's 12 years old. Yes.
Okay. And can you ask him his date of birth?
Can you tell me your birthday?
Okay. And are the neighbors out of their home, or is anybody looking for them that you can see?
No. Our homes are far enough away. I'm not sure. How did you get out of the house?
Porch. He went out.
He says he just left through the porch at the neighbor's house. Her name is Jody Hildebrandt, and she lives 2 doors up the street.
Out here in Cayenne, the houses are far apart.
Yeah, out here in Cayenne, the houses are far apart, so he walked just under a block to get to our house. He rang my doorbell and asked me to call the police.
Does he seem to be under the influence of drugs or alcohol?
I don't think so, but he's very thirsty and...
Need an ambulance?
I don't think he needs an ambulance. I'll let the cops decide that, but his ankles are taped up, and he won't tell us why.
Okay.
But he has duct tape around each ankle. Yeah, there's sores around them. I think there's a good chance he's been... Oh, and he has them around his ankles. I mean, his wrists as well. Okay, this boy has been...
That's where the caller the guy that made the call started getting very emotional because the gravity of the situation of what's probably been done to this child really hits him.
This kid has obviously been, I think he's been detained. He's obviously covered in wounds.
Okay. Let's get the paramedics headed over that way, okay?
No, that's a good idea, too.
Let's see. Has he...
Okay, so that's where we're going to stop it right there. But, man, it gets me. He's like, it's obvious. It's obvious he's been detained. And you can hear the guy's voice. He gets very shaky. He gets very emotional. Wow. He asks us to call the police, so he's very afraid, later naming Jody Hildebrandt as the neighbor in question. The boy later tells him that even though he came from the Hildebrandt's house, his mother is Ruby Frank, and he does not live in the area. One of the Frank's 6 children apparently escaped Hildebrandt's home in Ivans through a window and asked a neighbor for help, the court documents show. The neighbor saw, quote, duct tape wrapped around the child's ankles and wrist and contacted law enforcement according to a probable cause affidavit in the Santa Clara Alvins Public Safety Department. He rang my doorbell. He asked me to call the police. I don't think he needs an ambulance, but I'll let the cops decide that. And he talks about the sores. Man, it's crazy. He says what happened to him was his fault. The caller told authorities to the 12-year-old victim, she might come looking for him soon. We need the cops here as soon as possible. The 911 caller of Jody Hildebrandt. She's a bad lady. I didn't realize how bad. Wow. Upon arriving at the Hildebrandt's home, police noticed that the child had wounds, severely malnourished, so they took him to a hospital for treatment. He was placed on medical hold due to deep lacerations from being tied up with a rope, my God, and from malnourishment. Law enforcement located one of Frank's children, also malnourished, inside the Hildebrandt's home after the first child contacted police. The child, quote, initially refused medical attention but was later taken to the hospital. Police rescued a total of 6 children from Hildebrandt's Washington County home. Ruby Frank was seen on YouTube, filmed in Jody Hildebrandt downstairs, which was posted 2 days prior to the arrest, the affidavit says. It further states that Frank was, quote, present in the home having knowledge of the abuse, malnourishment, and neglect. Okay, so Ruby Frank absolutely knew, according to this, that the children were being abused and harmed. Frank immediately requested a lawyer, refused to speak with police at the time of her arrest. According to the affidavit, her attorney did not immediately respond to inquiry. The police requested that Frank and Hildebrandt be held without bail. In one of Frank's parenting videos, she discusses her decision to withhold Christmas presents from her 2 youngest children to teach them a behavioral lesson. In another, she threatens to cut a doll's head off. Jesus. What the hell? Internet sleuths on TikTok and YouTube quickly descended upon Frank and Hildebrandt's social media pages following their arrest to uncover alarming statements made by the 2 influencers on their public platforms. My kids are literally starving, Frank, wearing red lipstick, said in one video in front of the Christmas tree. I hesitate to say this because it sounds like I'm a mean barbarian, but I told my kids, I said, I'm not even going to let you eat breakfast until you get your chores done. Frank and Hildebrandt's charges included, quote, causing or permitting serious physical injury to 2 juvenile victims in 3 different ways. Combination of multiple physical injuries or torture, starvation or malnutrition that jeopardizes life, causing severe emotional harm, according to Washington County District Attorney's Office. Frank's daughter, Sherry Frank, posted a photo to her Instagram showed a police car that says, quote, "finally." And wow, it's crazy. It really is. It's sad. It's jacked up. I mean, knowing there's influencers out there that's giving parenting advice and this is what you find out, it's like, okay, is it just all a charade or what exactly is going on? I said in my 2 previous videos that, look, my parents were very strict on me, but they were nothing like this. I mean, they would never even flirt with going down these kinds of roads. There's being strict, and there's, using places to teach and teach good behavior and be respectful and all this kind of thing, without getting into even flirting with the realm of abusing or any of that kind of stuff. And again, my folks were tough. I mean, Lord knows my dad tore my butt up more than a few times, but nothing like this. I mean, it's crazy. Never would I be denied a meal as punishment, or that's crazy. It's truly absurd. I hope if these 2 are guilty of this, and I always gotta say allegedly, I hope they fry their asses to the fullest extent of the law. Throw them under the jail. This kind of thing just makes me hot as all get out. Guys, you can go to Fox News or you can look around out there. The rest of the 911 call, and it's long, is available out there, so you can find it. Peace. I'm out. Till next time.